सहनौ भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Repeat once. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Subha subha le शिव का नाम, कर ले बंदे कोई शुभ काम। सुबह सुबह ले शिव का नाम, शिव आएंगे तेरे काम। सुबह सुबह ले शिव का नाम, कर ले बंदे कोई शुभ काम। ओम नमः शिवाय। नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। नमः शिवाय। खुद को राख लपेटे फिरते, औरों को देते धन धान। खुद को राख लपेटे फिरते, औरों को देते धन धान। देवों के हित विष पीड़ा ले, नीलकंठ को देवों के हित विष पीड़ाले, नीलकंठ को कोटि प्रणाम। नीलकंठ को कोटि प्रणाम। सुबह सुबह ले शिव का नाम, शिव आएंगे तेरे काम। सुबह सुबह ले शिव का नाम, कर ले बंदे कोई शुभ काम। ओम नमः शिवाय, नमः शिवाय। शिवाय, नमः शिवाय। Humble prostrations to one and all present here. The topic of discussion for today is how to develop devotion for God, how to love God. How to love God? The first step is know how much God loves us. You cannot love a stranger. It is just not possible. Whether it is a person or God, you cannot love a stranger. You can love only a person whom you know. So the first step in loving God is know how much God loves us. In this regard, we must meditate upon how a child develops love for its mother. The fundamentals are the same. The steps are the same. How does a newborn baby develop this love for mother? In the beginning, when the child was born, there was no love. As far as the child was concerned, everybody is a stranger, including mother. But then, whenever the child had problems, it knew only one language. And what is the language? Give a loud cry. A cry of helplessness. A cry of misery. A cry of total surrender. A cry which is no less than a prayer. The child knows one thing, this misery which I am suffering from, I cannot come out of it. The child is very clear about itself. I am nothing. I know nothing. I have nothing. I can do nothing. It is from this knowledge that the child is operating. And then the child gives a cry coming from the depth of its heart. So in that cry, all the elements necessary for prayer is present. There is helplessness. There is humility. There is a heartfelt request to save. So then what happens? When this cry comes, one face appears. And she does something, and the child is free from that misery. Every time the child has problem, the child cries, and again and again the same face appears. Other faces come and go. They play for some time, giggle for some time, laugh for some time, and go away. But there is this one face which comes again and again. And whatever she does, the child doesn't know what she does. But whatever she does, after that, the child is at peace. When the child is hungry, she feeds him, and the child is at peace. When the child is wallowing in filth, again she does something, the child is comfortable. Sometimes the child feels lonely, she comes, and the child is comforted. Sometimes something bites, maybe a mosquito or a bed bug. The child doesn't know. He gives a cry, she comes, does something, everything is fine. So again and again when this child sees, whenever I have problem, whenever I give this loud cry, here is this person who comes. And she does something and I am at peace. Therefore, now this child makes an equation of happiness. What is the equation of happiness? Mother equal to happiness. This is equation. I am a nobody. I can't do anything. I am absolutely helpless. But as long as this particular lady is with me, everything is fine. This is the equation of happiness for the child. So therefore, in this world, who is the happiest being in this world? Wonder of wonders, in this world, the happiest being is the baby playing on the lap of its mother. This is the greatest wonder because, according to all of us, money is happiness, power is happiness, knowledge is happiness. Yes or no? Name and fame is happiness, and here is a child who has none of these and he is the happiest. Who is a nobody in this world and he is the happiest. We are all trying to become somebody in this world and we try to become happy. Here is a child who is a nobody, who has nothing, who is nothing, and he is the happiest. So therefore, how to be happy? The lesson should be learned from this child. So how did this child learn to love its mother? The child first learned how much mother loves him. That was the first step. What is the sign of love? The sign of love is, my beloved should always be there with me. The sign of love is, my beloved should pay attention to me. The sign of love is, my beloved should be concerned about me. These are all the expressions of love. And when this child sees all these expressions in its mother, this child develops that love. After that, the child asks only one question. What is the question? Am I with my mother? If the answer is yes, then everything is fine. If the answer is no, then nothing is fine. You see, the same lessons we have to follow if we have to develop devotion for God. Because the relationship is the same. The steps are the same. The methods are the same. The techniques are the same. In fact, we are made to go through this family drama. What is this family drama? I become a child, then I receive love from my father and mother. Later on, I become a father or mother, and then I start giving love to my children. This is called as family drama. What is the purpose of all this drama? The purpose of all this drama is to make us get acquainted with worldly love so that we become fit, we become qualified to experience divine love. This is the purpose. The purpose of worldly drama is only to develop this devotion for the Lord, for the divine. So, where should we start? Where should we start in developing devotion for God? We have to start exactly like that baby. What is the starting point? Test God. Just like that baby tested mother, in the same way we are supposed to test God. How to test God? We all have problems. We are also not different from that child. What is our condition? I am nothing. I know nothing. I have nothing. I can do nothing. Start from there. That's a fact of life. Even to survive on this planet, there are infinite number of factors necessary. External factors, internal factors. What are the external factors? Just to survive on this planet, what all factors are necessary? Food, shelter, clothing, then what? Right temperature, right humidity. For me, this temperature is a little cold. I don't know. I am shivering. Anyway, right temperature, then right speed with which that earth revolves around itself, right speed with which the earth revolves around the sun, right distance between earth and the sun. All these factors have to come together. Only then we can survive on this planet. In the same way, internal factors. Heart has to function, liver has to function, kidney has to function. I don't know what all things are there inside. So many cells, so many systems have to function. Digestive system, blood circulation system. So many things have to function, and how many factors are in our control? Infinite factors outside, infinite factors inside. How many factors are in our control? Not even one. Even these talents and abilities that we have, the brain has to function. How the eyes are seeing, we don't know. How the ears are functioning, we don't know. How am I talking? I don't know. How are you listening? You don't know. Whether you are listening or not, that's a different question. Anyway, so in what way are we different from that child? So when we analyze the fundamentals of life, fundamental realities of life, we are all at the same level. So these are all the 4 Mahavakyas always you must remember. What are the Mahavakyas? Not Aham Brahmasmi. Keep it aside. Aham Brahmasmi Tattvamasi. Keep it aside. The 4 Mahavakyas are: God, I am nothing. I know nothing. I have nothing. I can do nothing. So instead of saying Aham Brahmasmi, say, Oh God, Aham Shunyosmi. Start from there. The path becomes very easy. Start from scratch. And too much of study of scripture is not necessary to say I am nothing. The world is so beautifully designed by the Lord to make it very, very clear without any study of the scriptures that I am a nobody. You don't have to do any hair-splitting argument. Shankara Bhashya you don't have to study to say I am a nobody. It's very clear. Only thing is, let us accept the reality. Let us be grounded. That is the first step. First step is not trying to become Brahman. First step is trying to become a nobody. All our mental worries, tension, anxiety, everything is because of our self-created ego. And the whole world is designed to deflate the ego. You know, this world is called an ICU. You know what is ICU? 2 definitions I will give you. Eye-crushing university. This world is designed to crush our ego. Choice is yours. Either you crush it yourself or the world will crush you. Which is better? When the world crushes it, it is very painful. When we do it ourselves, then that becomes sadhana. Right. ICU. ICU is also intensive care unit. God intensely takes care of each and every one of us. Intensive care unit means what? 24/7 His attention is upon us. You may ignore Him, but He cannot ignore you. Because His love for you is infinite. His love for you is unconditional. And the necessary condition for love is that lover has to pay attention. So that way, this world is ICU, intensive care unit. Every one of us, we are intensely taken care. So coming back, what are we supposed to do in order to develop devotion for God? Let us test God like that baby. So how to test God? Let us take our problems to God. All of us, we have plenty of problems. Yes or no? Anyone without problem? We are all bundle of problems only. So what we have to do, let us take this problem to God with all humility, with an attitude of surrender, and sincerely seeking a solution. Just like that child. Oh God, I don't know anything. Please guide me. This is the problem which I am facing. Please guide me. Please protect me. You don't have to chant complicated Sanskrit mantras. Not necessary. Like that baby. The baby doesn't know anything. But that prayer is heard. Because that prayer is coming from the depth of its heart. That is what is more important. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upaharatam asnami prayatatmanah. Arjuna, whatever you offer, offer it with love. You see, that bhakti term comes again and again. Twice it comes in that verse. So what is most important thing is, the prayer, is it coming from the depth of my heart? Is it touching my heart? Or is it just escaping from my lips? Is it a mechanical prayer? Mechanical prayer has no value. If it is a heartfelt prayer, it reaches God. God cannot but respond when the prayer is heartfelt. Just like the moment child cries, what does this mother do? The mother looks into the eyes of the child. What is the proof that this cry is coming from the heart? The eyes become wet. The tears roll down. And when the tears mother sees, she cannot keep quiet. But if the child is saying, no tears, the mother ignores the child. You see. So what is more important is not the complicated mantras that you chant. What is important is, let that prayer come from the depth of your heart. And then you see whether God responds to your prayer or not. Just test Him. In the beginning, you don't have to love. You have to just test with an open-mindedness. All the scriptures in the world, in all religion, they unanimously say that heartfelt prayer is answered. With an open mind, you just try this. Try this option. Mysteriously, you will find that this prayer is getting answered. You will always find this. Time and again you will find that your prayer gets answered. And when again and again when you see this, that your prayers are getting answered, slowly your love for God starts increasing. You come to know that there is somebody who is listening to me. Your love increases. Your relationship with God increases. Your trust, your faith increases. That bonding starts becoming stronger and stronger. Now the next question is, how does Bhagavan answer our prayers? So always remember this, Bhagavan is our well-wisher, not just our wish fulfiller. A beautiful statement by Puja Guruji. God is our well-wisher. So therefore, what are the ways in which Bhagavan answers our prayers? So it is said, Bhagavan answers our prayers in 4 ways. So what are the 4 ways? Number 1, yes. Number 2, no. Number 3, wait. And number 4, take, here is something better. What is the first one? Yes. Second one? No. Third one? Wait. Fourth one? Take, here is something better. Not just take, here is something better. So the first one is yes. Whatever you ask, he will give you. Tathastu. Second one, no. You are asking something and he is not giving. Why is he not giving? He is not giving because it is not good for you. Certain things you don't know that it is not good, but Bhagavan knows that it is not good for you. He knows your entire existence, not just in this birth, but from the beginningless past, what all you have gone through, everything he knows. So therefore, there are certain things which are not good for you. He will not give you. And this is the most dangerous thing, because many times our faith is shaken when our prayers are not answered. But remember one thing, though he will say no, continue praying. A time will come when you will say, thank God you did not listen to that prayer. I was asking for help unknowingly. I was asking for sweet poison. I was only focused on sweetness, but actually it was poison. Thank God you did not give me. A time will come when God will make you say that. So therefore, when your prayer is answered as no, let not the faith be shaken. So yes, no. What is the third one? Wait. Wait means what? When the right time comes, I will give you. Wait. Have patience. And the fourth one? Take, here is something better. What you are asking is inferior. You deserve something better. I will give you that. So these are the ways in which God answers our prayers. Now the next question is, what if I don't take my problems to God? I try to solve myself. Well, in both ways you are going to end up in trouble. Whether you are able to solve the problem or whether you are not able to solve the problem, in both ways you are in trouble. If you are not able to solve your problem, what will happen? Tension, worry, anxiety, dejection, depression. But suppose you are able to solve the problem, then the ego rises. I am a great man. I am a self-made man. That is even greater danger. Boosting of ego. You become more arrogant in life. Both ways you are in trouble. Now always remember this thing. If you don't take your problem to God, He will not force Himself into your life. This must be very clear. He will silently wait. It is your job to take the problem to God, because freedom is given to you. God will not force Himself into your life. That's a beautiful story which I've heard. So there was this painter who painted a beautiful picture. And picture was Lord Krishna knocking a door. with a lantern in hand. Lord Krishna with a lantern in hand, knocking the door. Beautiful painting. Thousands came to see the painting, appreciated. One person found a mistake. He went to the painter and said, "Sir, you made a mistake." "What is the mistake? Come, I will show you." He took the painter to that painting and said, "See, Krishna is there, lantern is there, Krishna is knocking the door, but one thing you have forgotten." "What is that?" "You forgot to paint the handle of the door. Every door must have a handle. You forgot." The painter said, "No, it's not a mistake. The handle is not outside, it is inside." Story is over. What did you understand? Lord Krishna can bring light to you. He will knock the door also. He is ever available. But who has to open the door? The one who is suffering darkness inside the room, he will have to decide whether door has to be opened or not, whether the Lord should be allowed inside or not. The fellow who is suffering in darkness has to decide. God cannot decide that. The example given is that of sunlight. Sunlight can come up to the wall, up to your window. But then if the sunlight has to enter the room, who has to decide? The one who is suffering darkness inside the room has to decide. If he keeps the windows and doors closed, he will continue to experience darkness in spite of a bright and brilliant sun outside. Yes or no? Yes. There is something which we have to do. There is something which God has to do. God is ever willing to enter into your life, but how can we make Bhagavan enter into our life? This way is called as Sharanagati, way of surrender. Bhagavan, I bow down. I want you in my life. This request has to come from us. In Bhagavad Gita, you can very clearly see that. The first chapter, Arjuna is blabbering. That blabbering of Arjuna, what is the name of the chapter? Arjuna Vishada Yoga. He is full of sorrow. Why is he full of sorrow? Because he is not allowing Bhagavan to speak. Most of us are in first chapter only. You just sit in meditation and see. You will find that the mind is chattering. That chattering is called Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Chattering means what? I know. I know what is right, what is wrong. I don't need God. That is called as chattering mind. You don't allow Bhagavan to speak. He is ever ready to guide you, but you are full of yourself. You think you know too much. A person who thinks he knows too much will have a chattering mind. Chattering mind is the sign that ego is very, very dominant. Our heart has only one space throne. Only one person can sit. Either ego or God. When ego sits, mind chatters. Mind wanders. Mind is disturbed. These are all the proof that I am being ruled by my ego. The moment Bhagavan is seated in the heart, mind becomes peaceful. Mind gets tuned into a listening mode. You are listening to the divine. And that's what happens in the second chapter. Arjuna talks. He collapses and he falls down on the chariot. Then comes that verse of surrender. What is that verse? What is that? Karpanya doshopahata svabhavah prachhami tvam dharma sammudha yachreyasyan nishchitam bruhitan me shishyasteham sadhimam tvam prapannam. This becomes the turning point in Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna says, Bhagavan, I don't know. I'm confused. Please guide me. Please teach me. I surrender unto you. And from there onwards, the teaching begins. In the same way, we have to take our problems to God. Then everything will be fine. Right? Bhagavan is ever with us. Now the second point. The second point is, how does Bhagavan guide us? Guiding us is a necessary aspect of love. When you love someone, you cannot but help that person. Every moment Bhagavan is guiding us. Every moment. And what is the language of his guidance? The language is the state of mind. When he is happy with us, he gives you peace. When he is unhappy, he gives us disturbance. This is the language. If the mind is disturbed, know for sure that we are going somewhere wrong. Exactly like the physical body. What is the proof that body is healthy? There is no pain. That is the proof. The proof that body is healthy is you don't even know that you are carrying a body. But suppose there is a pain somewhere. What is the pain? What does that indicate? It indicates that something is wrong. In the same way, every pain in the mind, pain in the heart is an indication that we are going wrong. We are displeasing the Lord. It's a coded message from the Lord that we are going wrong. So, if I want to develop a good relationship with God, if I want this relation to be strong, what should I do? When do your relationship with your child improve? When you find that your child is an obedient child, good child, disciplined child, the child obeys whatever you say, what happens to your love for your child? Suppose you have 5 children. There is a general love for all children, but there is one child who just obeys you, listens to you, never disobeys you. Isn't it true that your love for the child is little more? Yes or no? You helplessly become partial towards that child. Yes or no? Yes. It is true with God also. We have to be an obedient child of the Lord. Is there something which Bhagavan expects from us? The answer is yes. What does Bhagavan expect from us? He expects us to walk the path of righteousness, dharma. Walk the path of goodness. Just like we expect our children to walk the path of goodness. There is an expectation. I don't want my child to be in the bad company. I want my child to be an embodiment of all good virtues, values. This is the expectation of any parent. In the same way, Bhagavan also has an expectation. The one thing Bhagavan loves is dharma. Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavam yuge yuge. I take avatar to establish dharma, Bhagavan says. So therefore, if we have to please the Lord, we have to walk this path, the path of righteousness, the path of noble values, of goodness. Then we find that our relationship develops. And every time we deviate from the path of righteousness, you will find one thing, mind starts getting disturbed. And the disturbance of the mind is clear proof that you are not in tune with your Creator. Somewhere God has to indicate to us that we are going wrong. And that language of indication is through the state of mind. For example, when you get anger, what is the state of mind? Peaceful or disturbed? Disturbed. That disturbance is an indication where Bhagavan says, my dear child, I am not happy with you. Jealousy, is it peaceful or disturbance? Disturbance. Again, it's a voice of God saying, my dear child, I am not happy with you. All these negative emotions you see, anger, jealousy, greed, hatred, every disturbance is an indication from the Lord that He is not happy with us. So as good children, what are we supposed to do? Listen to that voice. The moment that mind gets disturbed, in fact, one part of your mind should always pay attention to the state of the mind. Every time the mind is disturbed, you say, no, somewhere I am going wrong. God is warning me. God is talking to me. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Then, abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam. Whenever there is a decline in dharma, I manifest myself, Bhagavan says. You don't expect somebody to come up like Krishna or Rama. No, every moment that is happening. Every moment there is a glani in dharma, decline in dharma. Every time I am tempted towards the path of unrighteousness, Bhagavan takes avatar. And what is the expression of that avatar? Disturbed mind is that expression. Listen to that disturbance. Every disturbance is a coded message from the Lord. Every disturbance has its own flavor. Like different ice creams have got different flavors. The flavor of jealousy is different. They are all disturbances. Disturbances due to jealousy is different. Disturbances due to hatred is different. Disturbance due to anger is different. Superiority complex is different. Inferiority complex is different. Why different flavors are given? So that we can identify where I am going wrong. So as good children of the Lord, as a true seeker of the Lord, as a true seeker of spirituality, what are we supposed to do? Every time the mind gets disturbed, immediately come within. Let not that disturbed mind express itself as disturbing words and hurting actions. No. The moment the mind is disturbed, look within. You are entertaining a negative thought, and that is why the mind is experiencing a negative state. So what are we supposed to do? That negative thought has to be corrected. How do you correct a negative thought? By replacing it with positive thought. So these are the 5 pointed techniques. Observe, detect, eliminate, substitute, strengthen. This is what a true seeker is supposed to do. Observe the mind, first one. Second one, detect the negativities of the mind, negative thoughts in the mind. Observe, detect, eliminate these negative thoughts. Wrong thinking. How to eliminate? By substituting it with right thinking, positive thoughts. And then strengthen these positive thoughts. Make it a habit. Make it a habit to think right, to think positive. So every disturbance of the mind is a warning from the Lord. Listen to that warning. Correct yourself. So whether you are having tension, worry, anxiety, stress, remember all these are indications. Because the law is, as your thoughts, so will be the state of your mind. If the thoughts are good, you are experiencing peace, cheerfulness, happiness. If the thoughts are bad, you will experience disturbance. This is the law. So every time the mind is disturbed, don't say somebody is the cause of disturbance. What is our general tendency? If I am disturbed, my husband is wrong, my wife is wrong, my children are wrong, neighbor, relative, friend. We are experts in putting blame on others. Somebody did something wrong, therefore I am disturbed. The law of spirituality is no. You are wrong, therefore you are disturbed. That disturbance is given by the Lord for a purpose. So if you want to improve in this path of spirituality, if you want to improve your love for God, devotion for God, you will have to cultivate this habit of listening to the voice within. And the more and more you work on yourself, every time the mind is disturbed, you say, if I am disturbed, I am wrong. This is the Maha Mantra of life. What is the Maha Mantra? If I am disturbed, I am wrong. That's the first statement you have to say. If I am disturbed, I am wrong. If I am disturbed, God is trying to speak something to me. Let me listen to that voice. The more and more you start working on yourself, trying to correct your thoughts, trying to align your thoughts with the divine, slowly a time comes when your thoughts become refined, pure, noble. And when your thoughts are effortlessly noble, good, divine, that is called as Devi Sampath, divine wealth. A time comes when your mind is all the time peaceful. Right. So this is the way we have to develop our relationship with God. Again, while making decisions also we have to be very careful. In life there are so many situations where we have to make decisions. So what are the two faculties in us which make decisions? The one faculty is called the faculty of mind, the other is called the faculty of intellect. What does this mind say? How does it make decisions? It makes decision based on likes and dislikes. So mind says, I like this, let us do this. I don't like it, let us not do it. This is where the mind behaves. What about the intellect? Intellect makes decisions based on right and wrong. This is right, let us do it. This is wrong, let us not do it. So mind and intellect. Whom should we listen to? Intellect. Whatever is right, I will do it. Whatever is wrong, I will not do it. So if we have to grow in this path of devotion to God, we have to completely renounce our likes and dislikes. We have to live pleasing the Lord. And what pleases the Lord? When we do what is right, that pleases the Lord. When we don't do what is wrong, that pleases the Lord. Something is wrong, I love doing it, but I say, Bhagavan, you don't like it, therefore I will not do it. Now that is a sacrifice. I sacrifice my likes and dislikes for the sake of the Lord. Anything which disturbs the mind, anything which creates conscience prick is something which Bhagavan doesn't like. I should not do it. This is a sacrifice. And remember, there is a struggle. There is something which is right, but I don't like doing it. There is something which is wrong, but I love doing it. Every time you are going against your vasanas, against your habits, against your likes and dislikes, there is a struggle. And any struggle is a pain. Agre vishamiva pariname amrutopamam. In the beginning it is like drinking poison. Going against your habits, going against your addictions, going against your likes and dislikes. It is very, very painful. But the end result is nectarian. Pariname amrutopamam. What is that nectarian result? In that struggle, what happens is the mind becomes purer and purer. In that heat of struggle, the impurities melt and the mind becomes pure. And in that purified mind, we experience the presence of the Lord. So this is the price that we have to pay in order to intensify our relationship with God. The question is, are you ready for it? There is no easy way. This is the only way. Walking the path of righteousness. But if God is your priority in life, then you don't care whether it is an easy way or difficult way. You bother only about one thing. God, I want to be your beloved. I want you to love me. I want to experience your presence. And for that, I am ready to pay any price. This is the true attitude of any devotee. And slowly, as you live this path, so you can very clearly see that in order to develop devotion for God, you don't have to renounce the world. You don't have to escape from the world. You don't have to escape from the family. Many times people have this wrong notion. Spirituality is all about escapism. Running away from life. Running away from challenges of life. Absolutely no. Spirituality is this. Wherever you are, that is your battlefield. In the battlefield, walk the path of righteousness. If you can do this right here in this world, you can experience intimate relationship with God. You don't have to escape from it. Wherever God has placed you, that is the right place. Don't escape. But the condition is this. What pleases Bhagavan, you will have to do. What displeases him, you should refrain from doing. Listen to that voice within. Be loyal to that voice. Never ignore that voice. You can't silence that voice, but you can always ignore that voice. Never do this blunder. The moment you look within, you will hear that voice. And one more thing I will have to warn you. You can't trust that voice all the time. If your mind is in rajasic or tamasic mode, understand the one who speaks is not that voice. It is the voice of the ego. Many times we misunderstand the voice of God with the voice of ego. When do we know that it is not the voice of ego, it is the voice of God? If the mind is in sattvic state, peaceful state, know for sure it is the voice of the Lord. But if it is in rajasic or tamasic state, beware. Ego, in the guise of God, is coming to mislead you. A wrong path will be shown as the right path. So you have to be careful while listening to this voice also. But over a period of time, as you are walking this path, you are able to decipher. So in this way, when we walk, the relationship grows. And then what happens as the relationship grows? A time comes when you start feeling His presence every moment. And that is the most blessed moment, because you come to know that you are in the lap of the Lord. Just like that child. The child in the lap of mother is ever happy because the child knows, I am a nobody, but I have somebody with me who will solve all my problems. In the same way, when we have that divine experience, we are not afraid of any challenges from the world, any problems from the world, because we know there is somebody with us who will empower us to fulfill our duties, our responsibilities, who will empower us to face any challenge in this world. So after that, there is absolutely no fear. If there is fear, that means the relationship is yet to be strengthened. So if we live in this way, tuning to our Creator, being good children of our Creator, obedient children of our Creator, then that life is worth lived. This is the best way of living, intelligent living. So ask this question, am I living a life pleasing my Creator? This question should be asked. Is my Creator happy with me? Are there places where my Creator is not happy? Now you may say, there are times when I am not clear whether what is right and what is wrong. Don't worry about that. Worry only about those aspects where you are very clear. It is like, traveling. As you are driving a long distance, you don't ask this question, the whole road, whether it is lit or not. You don't have to worry. The immediate 50, 100 meters, is it clear? Then keep going. Because as you move forward, the further path will be clearer. In the same way, whatever at present you have understood as right and wrong, just execute that. Slowly over a period of time, what happens is intellect becomes bright and brilliant. The mind becomes purer and purer. And in that pure mind, everything becomes clear. You are able to think deep. Because the mind has become subtle. A subtle mind is able to think deep. A subtle mind is able to analyze intricate, complicated situations in life. That ability is available only for a subtle, pure mind. So as the mind becomes purer and purer, you will be given bigger and bigger responsibilities. So therefore, those aspects where there is no clarity, don't worry about it. Start executing those things which are very clear to you. Then over a period of time, our devotion for God will definitely develop. So when you are on this path, after 5 years, 10 years, you must look back and say, how I was and how I am. 5 years, 10 years back, how I was, how I am. Is there a change? If you can say, yes, 5, 10 years back I was a terrible person. Now I am far better. If you can see this difference, congrats, you are progressing. If you say, no, there has been no change at all. I have been in study groups, I have been in this, I have been in that, nothing has happened. If nothing has happened, it's indeed a big concern. The more and more this devotion for God develops, you are happy with yourself, cheerful. You have no problem at all with whatever is happening in the world. Because you know that there is a Lord who is taking care of the whole world beautifully well. This world is a perfect world. Everything is fine. Such a mind becomes peaceful. But for this, there is a price to be paid. Nothing comes free. No pain, no gain. And as you start feeling the presence of the divine, whatever is needed for you will come to you. If fund is necessary, that also will come. This is a fundraiser. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu parasparam bhavayantah shreyaf param avapsyatah ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha dasyante yajna bhavitah. With this, you worship the cosmic forces. Yajna bhava. Yajna bhava means the attitude of sacrifice. You are sacrificing your ego. You are sacrificing your likes and dislikes. You are sacrificing your narrow-mindedness, your negativities. imperfections. For the welfare of the totality you are sacrificing. To please the Lord you are sacrificing. Then what happens? When you are doing this worship of sacrificing all negativities, of sacrificing the individuality for the welfare of the totality, when this sacrifice is done, Devan bhavayata anena, with this you sacrifice, te deva bhavayantuvaha, the cosmic forces will ensure your welfare, your prosperity. These cosmic forces, they are listening to you. The more and more you live a pure life, a noble life, a divine life, the cosmic forces will come together in order to fulfill all your desires. You see, these are all the unseen laws of the cosmos. Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha dasyante. They will give you. So this is all what we have to do. Live a noble life, divine life. Be a good child of the Lord, and everything that belongs to Him will belong to you. Exactly like your good child, all your property. Yes or no? But if that fellow is a terrible fellow, then you will not give. But suppose your child is very good, very obedient, takes care of you, everything, then whatever yours it is, you give it to your child. In the same way, we are all children of Bhagavan. Pitahamasya jagato mata dhata pitama. I am the father and mother of this universe. So if we are good children of the Lord, and remember Lord, who is He? Omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, ever there in our heart. Our job is only one. My father and mother should be happy with me. My Bhagavan should be my first priority. All my duties and responsibilities I do only to please Him. If He is happy, I am happy. If He is not happy and the world is happy, I am not happy. This way when you start living, then you are ever protected, ever empowered. You will have no problem at all. Suppose your responsibility is fundraising, those funds will also come. Okay. This is our first responsibility, being a good child of the Lord. So I sincerely invoke the grace of the Lord and blessings of Puja Gurudev. May we all as Chinmaya family members live this path. This is the path which Puja Gurudev has shown us. Always Gurudev used to say, don't go behind Lakshmi, go behind Narayana. Lakshmi will not be far behind. Our job is to go behind Narayana. But if you go behind Lakshmi, you will suffer. Then she will become Chanchala. Otherwise she is never Chanchala. She is ever with Narayana. So this is the path which Puja Gurudev has shown us. So as Chinmaya family members, let us follow this path. Everything will be fine. Everything will be taken care. Right.